Hello and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft Dave, cooking on my Trangia in my back garden, because I've not really got the chance to get out and about at the minute. You watched Emily cooking last week, now it's my turn. So I'm going to be cooking up. I had some leftover minced beef and I thought, oh, what could I do with this? I thought about doing burgers or something like that, but I thought, how about some meatballs in tomato sauce? And then I wasn't sure what to put it with, and then I thought, a meatball sub. So I'm going to make myself a nice, fantastic meatball and tomato sauce sub with mozzarella cheese, a little bit of a nice salad, because it's a beautifully warm day, so I don't want anything too heavy, so this should be a nice little treat. Let's have a look at the cooking. So this just wants to be relatively low and slow. So in here I've got about a quarter of an onion, just very finely chopped. I've saved another quarter of an onion chopped to go into the tomato sauce. So I'm going to fry this off, get this nice and softened, and then it's going to go in with the minced beef, some herbs to make my meatballs. We'll let this cool off first. Just going to put in a little pinch of garlic. I mean, that's about exactly the right amount that I wanted to put in that. A little bit of garlic powder. It's potent stuff, this. Thank goodness I didn't chuck in any more than that. People will think I did that on purpose. They'll be like, oh, he just chucks the food around to make like it funny. No, I'm not that clever, guys.
He really is that clever.
Right, I'm going to stick with that. So this onions coming off the heat, and we're just going to let it cool down for a bit. Once we get on with making some tomato sauce. Good, but they're going to cook a lot longer, aren't they, these ones, with the tomato sauce in there. We'll put another little pinch of garlic powder in. Obviously we don't really want to burn. Right. Open this tin of chopped tomatoes. So I've only got a like a 200 gram tin. This is just for one person, this meal, so 200 grams of chopped tomatoes. I'm just going to put in a pinch of sugar and caster sugar, just to sweeten it a little. And I reckon we'll leave that to do its thing while we sort out the meatballs. Yeah? So for the meatballs, we've got our onions that we fried off earlier that have cooled down nicely. I've got 200 grams of some really good quality minced beef. Whack that in. And then in here I've got some mixed herbs. I put in some parsley, oregano, basil and sage. But I'm going to put about a teaspoon in here. Something like that, maybe half a teaspoon. Small amount of herbs. I have actually got some salt and pepper that I brought out, so let's put some salt and pepper right. The best tool for this job is to get in here with my hands. Sure, you could add all sorts of extra seasoning in here, paprika. You could put in maybe a tablespoon of barbecue sauce or something like that, just to make it a little bit more interesting, or even just some spicy herb seasoning. The recipe itself initially would have been a recipe for 4 people, but this is just for me. So actually you probably should put in an egg to bind it. I haven't got 1/4 of an egg, so I'm just going to go as it is and hope for the best. Right then, what do you reckon for this tomato sauce? I think that's looking pretty good. Still thin. Thin enough. Especially when the meatballs are going to get cooked in it, probably just for a little while anyway. Alright, let's take this off the heat. Put it to one side. So we'll go in with a bit more oil to fry the, probably about a tablespoon of oil. And then this meatball mixture, it should make about 6 meatballs. So let's half it. Probably that'll be about 1-ish. Stick it off that. Okay, so so these are going to fry off for about 10 minutes. Why have the animals suddenly come out and are all interested about the food?
It's almost like this is the meat. Hi, Penny. Are they for you? Sandwiches?
Yes, I know. But you could add you could add cheese into the mix on this. Like some mozzarella cheese in the thing, or even like feta or something, and make it maybe with minced lamb and some feta cheese. I have to say these are looking quite good now, aren't they? Really taking on a little bit more colour. This will just reheat the sauce a little bit and get some more of that flavour in. This, I can already tell, is going to be so delicious. We'll just re-warm it through, transfer it to the sandwich. Jobs are good.
It's definitely a long summer evening cook, isn't it? No rush outside the tent. Beer.
Yeah. And you can make this for a few people. You could. So initially I was like, I was going to maybe do this with spaghetti, like it's probably traditional. I was maybe just going to do it with just normal pasta. Then I thought about maybe doing it with some gnocchi. But in the end I wanted something where I wasn't having to cook another extra bit on the side. So it made sense to just use some bread. I put myself a nice foot-long bread roll. What I think I'm going to do is sprinkle a little bit of mozzarella just inside the fold so that it takes on that heat as I pour it in. Look at that. Let's get in there. Come on. There's no grass on that. Right, this is going to work, this. There's no way that this can go wrong at all.
Don't ever say things like that.
Meatball. I'm running out of space. I'm glad I bought a foot-long bread roll. This is not going to be a clean eat, is it? Let's get that sauce in there as well. What a mess. So there we have it. A meatball, tomato sauce, and mozzarella sub cooked on my Trangia 27. This is a recipe for one person, but come on, let's be honest. This is easily, you could cut it in half and it would serve two. I don't even know where to tuck in. I want to go like right in the middle, but that's clearly not the right move. I'm going at the end. Well, this, as Mrs. Bushcraft Dave said at one point during the video, this is quite a nice one to just be relaxed, no rush. The tomato sauce took probably about 15-20 minutes to cook down. If you had a bigger portion, it might be about 25-30 minutes. The meatballs cooked in 10. Obviously, you might need a bigger pan, 25 if you're doing it for 4 people, but this is super delicious. I'm gonna have some more. Excuse me. So if you want a little treat on a summer's evening, get yourself some minced beef, tin of tomatoes, and an onion, and you can chuck this together in next to no time, really. Delicious. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next one. Get these legs out. It should be called legs.
Yeah.
Arms?
I think they're more like arms.
Oh.
Tell us in the comments below.
Just to annoy you, I'm going to call them legs if you think they're arms.